Okay, let's start the class. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Mas Aldi. Thank you for coming to this class. This is a blockchain industrial class. This is we have around in total 50 students. I think now a lot less to join. Maybe they join after we start the class. So everyone. We have a very honor to have Mas Aldi here. Maybe a lot of you don't really understand why there is a connection between blockchain and the metaverse, right? So I haven't had the chance to explain it in the class, but today we have Mas Aldi, who is in the industry of metaverse. Yeah, so I think he has a full of experience on how metaverse and blockchain related in the many aspect of the industry. Oh, so I think everyone should open the camera, yeah, so we can see like teaching in the real class, yeah. So and don't forget to put the class name, yeah, on your name, yeah, so I can see who come to the class, who didn't attend the class, yeah. Okay, I think time and place, Mas Aldi. A student can ask you in Indonesia and in English, but we deliver the class in English. Thank you, Mas Aldi. The place is yours.
Yeah, thank you. The honor is mine, Pak Andri. And then I'm sorry if in the middle of my class, I will close my camera if it's okay,
Okay,
because
it's
I'm in
okay.
the middle of a camping background,
Okay,
Pak Andri.
okay.
So yeah, it's not that the latency is not that
Thank
good.
you
But
for
yeah,
taking the time to coming to the class because
no
you are
worries,
in
no
the.
worries. Yeah, yeah. Usually we in the weekend, my family and my other my wife, we go around for camping, and then we bring our Starlink, and then we could just connect with the
Wah,
Starlink actually.
cool.
Yeah.
Okay,
So
okay.
this is Starlink connection, by the way. So
Wah,
yeah,
that's cool. Okay.
yeah, yeah. Oh, okay. Allow me to start then. I'm gonna pause my video first and um share sound. Okay. Is it shown?
Yes.
The
Yes.
Yeah, all
The
right.
yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Hello, everyone. Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Aldi. I'm currently in Nusameta. Nusameta is a subsidiaries of WAR Group. And before we start the materials, I'm gonna brief about what we are doing in WAR Group and who we are. So WAR Group is a 100% Indonesian company, and it's already been around for like 15 no 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 so 16 right 15 years, yeah, from 2009. We already have 1,000 plus projects in 20 plus countries. We already have 5 patents, mostly on augmented reality areas, and then we already IPO 2 years ago. And then this is what we do in WAR. We have several business units. We have DAF, we have Mine Stores, we have Minar. We classified the business unit in the area of the Web2 part. And then we also have the new one. We call it the business unit is Nusameta. And it's revolves around the metaverse concept and the bleeding edge technologies like blockchain, AI, and whatsoever. In the middle of that, we have AR and O in augmented reality, and also the solutions for branding, DMID. Yeah, this is the project highlights in 20 plus market, and one of them is oh, it's not that, oh, I'm sorry, it's not that clear, yeah. But yeah, anyway, we are awarded Augie Awards in 2015 and 2016. Back then, WAR helps Nigerian president to won the election by enabling augmented reality solutions. So that's a bit uh, surprising because it's Nigerian and we are an Indonesian company, but that's what we did. And then also we also have enables Pharrell Williams happy songs with the augmented reality solutions back then. So yeah. Okay, start the metaverse concept then. I'm gonna start with the overview. Uh, the definition, I put it right here like this because back then when Mark Zuckerberg rebrand his company with Facebook to Meta, the excitement of the public and the hype of the public to the terms of metaverse is off the roof. Everyone like expecting the solution that's come out from Meta or from any company that used terms metaverse is a bit ridiculous back then because everyone talk about you can marry in the metaverse, you can doing things in metaverse, you can even you can live in metaverse. But I think right now, 2 years later, the definition of the metaverse really is still fluid and will likely continue to be for some time because the consensus of what metaverse and what isn't metaverse is not that clear in terms of technology, in terms of the elements. We have some guidance that this is the metaverse if you follow this kind of elements. This is not if you are not following that. But the thing is, uh, metaverse is some terms that actually comes from a novel back then, right? So metaverse terms, we going back to the history of what metaverse is first, and then when the terms of metaverse actually comes out. So I start with 1838 because the what we saw today in the digital reality, which means the 3D part, the uh, uh, hyper reality that we see in the digital part is start from the concept of binocular vision by Sir Charles Whetstone. He founded that you could make things seems like 3D in with the perception of eyes and stuff like that. And then he found the concept of that, and then actually 1935. This is the interesting part. Even before we Indonesia have our own freedom, they already had a novel called Pygmalion Spectacles, Stanley Weinbaum. In that novels, the heroes of that novels could go to a virtual or another world using a glass. So that's the interesting part because at that time, the concept of going to another reality with some kind of tools and it on your eyes is already there. And then when we move to another maybe concept of the hardware in 1956, Morton Helix is invented the first VR machine. It's called Sensorama. You guys could search it on the Googles. It's just like a ding dong. I don't know. You guys are familiar with ding dong because Pak Andri, is this a Gen Z class or millennial class? I forgot to
You
ask
see,
actually.
I think around no, millennial, Gen Z and or Alpha, Gen Z, I think.
Gen Z and Alpha. Oh, all right. So they won't know actually ding dong
Still very
what
young.
ding dong is, right? Yeah, very young. Yeah, maybe some yeah. Ding dong is what we call game back in the past and with a big hardware like a kiosk. So Sensorama is just like that. Sensorama back then, Morton Hellig built that with a simple experience of riding a bike around Brooklyn. Is that even we could smell the peas on the Brooklyn, the jokes aside from that era. And then after that, MIT created the virtual tour called Aspen Movie Map. We could explore Aspen with that software, with that solution MIT created. So basically, the concept of metaverse is not coming out suddenly in 2014 or 2022. Actually, it's been around for almost several decades. And then when we think that the Oculus, right? We know the Oculus part of the Oculus is new. No, in 1990, Sega is already have the VR arcade or time zone light area, Sega VR, that utilize that kind of device actually. So it's been around from long time. And then this is the key terms that metaverse comes out in 1992. Neil Stephenson published Snow Crash novel. It's a fictional novel. And then in that novel, the terms of metaverse comes out. And then the terms of metaverse comes out with the definitions, with the conditions that the novels is explaining that the hero is in it and stuff like that. So yeah, going back to 1935, 1956, and then 1992, Neil Stephenson coined the terms metaverse. And then after that, a lot of things, a lot of technology, a lot of fundamental technologies like proof of work consensus that is used in the blockchain technology, the concept of peer-to-peer money by Weidai back then it's found, and then digital twin in 2020, 2002, and then actually if maybe you guys are newborn back then, but we have a metaverse-like solutions in 2003. It's called Second Life. Maybe if you guys watch Big Bang Theory, um, some of some of the guy in the Big Bang Theory always talk like, I want to go back, I want to go to my second life or my avatar and chilling by the pool in Second Life, because yeah, that's the solution back then in 2003, uh, uh, similar to what metaverse definition right now. And then 2006, Roblox is launched. Was launched. So Roblox is it's not a new game. Roblox has been around from 2006, so it's already evolved through the years, and then Roblox now is different back actually with the Roblox back then. And then in 2009, Satoshi Nakamoto published the Bitcoin, right? And then in 2010, Palmer Luckey invented Oculus, the Oculus VR. Back then, Palmer Luckey invented the Oculus at 17 age. His age back then is 17. And then in 2014, Facebook back then buy the company. So back then, all of the buzzword, all of the business people um, um, questioned the decisions. Why Facebook as a social media company platform back then, who make billions, trillions of dollars from advertising or attention economy, buying the Oculus back then, and nobody have clear conclusions back then. But in when 2022, when Mark Zuckerberg changed the Facebook to Meta, some puzzle actually answered by that, because the aha moment is there. People start connecting the dots, and then so Zuckerberg is not aiming this metaverse for like a short time. He already maybe planning this from 2014 when he the history as it is today. And what makes it interesting is the metaverse back then worth nothing. The terms of metaverse back then, nobody knows. In the mass, nobody knows. But when Meta, when Facebook rebrand and then introduced the concept of metaverse, suddenly everyone seems to know about the metaverse, and everyone seems to, want to get in. But the thing is, it's not the technology, even internet back then. It's not as simple as that. So yeah, this is the history of the metaverse, guys. A brief history. When we talk about it, so along the way, people start to, defining the clear lines, what is metaverse and what is not, or they thought. So some, some concept revolves around, very technological level. Some concept revolves around very, utopian or the business and utopian level or imagination level. Like if you cannot feeling things in metaverse, it's not metaverse. Yeah, it's absurd actually, but yeah. I took these parameters of element of metaverse from Gartner. Hmm. He said, and they still stand by the element of metaverse is right here. So they said like metaverse within the concept should have the digital currencies, and it could facilitate the digital commerce, and it will also, utilize the NFTs or blockchain technologies with the decentralized infrastructures and the device independence, and also a lot of like use case could be done in metaverse, including work, including concert, including digital humans, including game. And then game is one part of the parameter actually. And then digital asset will be there. What we call digital asset means that in terms of metaverse, digital items would be an assets instead of like in-game items or some isolated digital stuff. So this is the element of metaverse that Gartner tried to break down, and some of the people trying to dig in more by break down if the infrastructure is still centralized, if still using the cloud, the AWS, the AWS cloud, or maybe the Google cloud. They said it's not metaverse. Some people try to explain that blockchain is only a derivative from it. So using a blockchain or not is not it's not important because Roblox is metaverse, they said. So a lot of a lot of concept, a lot of different opinions in here, but this is the terms of Gardner, the terms of metaverse and element of metaverse that I try to wrap my head around it, because it's it's similar to what I imagine actually. So yeah, we talk about the meta back then. So with metaverse, the element of metaverse and what meta back then promised to us seems to be promised, because we think that people could go to metaverse without any hassle. You could do work in metaverse. You could also do everything on metaverse. But actually, back then the offer promises features hit us back. I will come to that later. But anyway, with that kind of premise, the business is at its peak. McKinsey company reported June 2 years ago, $120+ billion is already pumped into the concept of metaverse, whether it's investment, whether it's device research and many others. So imagine the concept of metaverse has been around from like several decades ago, but suddenly when Facebook changed to Meta, the money flowing in. So that's also the other part of the world where branding is also the king. Yeah, and then Gartner also predict, and they still stand by it as of today, that 25% of people will spend at least 1 hour per day in the metaverse by 2026. They said that in metaverse hype, the ripple and the wave that um, Facebook and Meta bring to the space will make a new economy, a new business model that extend digital business. So Gartner predicts that 2026 is 2 years away. So I think we are keen to see if the prediction is correct or not. But I think if we think about metaverse as in terms of if Roblox is metaverse, I can see that yeah, it's possible because if we categorize Roblox or Minecraft or any other games use case as metaverse, a lot of people play that more than 1 hour per day. So yeah. Okay. So that's the overview and addressing the definition and maybe the histories, but I want to address also the metaverse for the last 2 years, what's going on. Yeah. So also Gartner, I coined this from Gartner. So the last 2 years, Gartner said it's an emerging metaverse concept. So inspired from Web3, the hype of the Web3 app, the market, the technologies, the metaverse concept revolves and then transform and then um, incorporated in our lives and maybe in our daily lives, because some people a lot of market, a lot of people know Facebook, right? And then when they change the name to Meta, uh, eventually a lot of people will, ask what is metaverse, what is Meta? Yeah. So the mission of globalizing the terms of metaverse is already carried out by the Facebook, and it's doing well. But the thing is, the expectation, have it met or not? So 2022 emerging metaverse is out there. People try the Horizon World that Meta brings out, and people disappointed, and then some people criticize it, and all right, they try to move around and then try to search another form of metaverse that will satisfy the overly excited hype back then. But still, because it's on the stage of emerging metaverse, I think there's maybe almost no platform or almost no solution that could satisfy them. But with the metaverse uh, um, branding from Meta, innovators and early adopters born. And then Gartner predict that in 2025, we will have an advanced metaverse, which means the emerging metaverse will evolve, and then we'll have a progressions, we'll have improvisations, and it makes sense because maybe last year, yeah, when we got Apple Vision Pro, when Apple Vision Pro comes out, it changed the whole space from overly excited space of metaverse, and then Apple brings out the technology, and then suddenly a lot of people like walking with the things on his head and then start working on the subway. It's it's fascinating because so after that, with that proves that maybe the advanced metaverse is within our reach in the next several years. And then Garner predicts also in several years, 2029 and 2030, we will have a mature metaverse, maybe matter towards interoperability, immersive experience, and the new digital economy. As if today we live in a world where the digital economy is mostly centralized with the advertisement model or attention economy of the big platform like Facebook. In 2030, Gartner predict will be a new virtual economies coming to our lives. And this is the concept that Satya Nadella think about metaverse. He said like metaverse wouldn't be a one big world digitally and natively for all the people in the world and for all the use cases in the world. But Satya Nadella think that metaverse could be a lot, depending on the use case, depending on the companies, depending on the communities, and that and it's good. It's good in the terms that when metaverse is a lot, and then in terms of infrastructure, in terms of technological maturity right now, you cannot onboard all of the people in the world with that kind of persistency of experience, immersive experience, in one big, platform or whatsoever or solutions. It would cost even a big company like Google or Microsoft a lot without a clear business model, of course. So that's why Satya Nadella think that metaverse with the right use case could be a lot and then could generate its own business model, and then that's good. Okay. Oops. All right. So yeah, following that, interpretation of metaverse right now is a lot. So a lot of like company, including us, try to reach our hand to the metaverse space with any angle that we know. Gaming is one part of it. Following Roblox, Second Life, Minecraft, Fortnite, Centraland, Break Room, VR Chat. Maybe some of this platform familiar to you. And there's also in the area of health and wellness, there's a helium drip limbics, and some of the companies not continue their development in the area, unfortunately, but some of the new one also come. In education, Minecraft have education's metaverse or game version. Then also the sandbox is trying to grasp the education area also. So as you can see on this screen, there's a lot of use case and there's a lot of area that many company and many people trying to figure out what kind of problem that they are trying to solve with the solution of metaverse in this categorized area. When we think about like socials, Zepeto is one of the big ones. If you guys playing it, the business and economic Second Life now trying to pivoting and iterating their platform in the business part, which facilitating negotiating of business and socializing. And then also there's an artistic and creative space. Crypto voxels is one of them. You could try the crypto voxels really. And then by AmiWeb is a CEO of Future Today Institute. He said like this is 2024 reports. He said like okay, AI is taking over the world by storm, but metaverse is still there, even though the relevance could be adjusted for use case. So as you can see, the media entertainment and media news is one of the near-term relevance the metaverse part and also the telecommunications. But with the automotive, it's still a bit long. Um,
I think we lost contact with Mas Aldi. Yeah. Can you guys still hear the Mas Aldi voice?
No, sir.
quickly buzzing in into the
Oh, okay.
metaverse part.
Okay. Okay. Yeah,
So,
I lost your voice.
hello.
Yeah. Yeah. We hear you. Okay, you
All
can
right.
continue.
Okay. All right. Sorry, we are, yeah, Starlink is not that good actually. All right. So, yeah, entertainment, we start back then, entertainment, Blackpink start the virtual concert, Ariana Grande back then start the virtual concert, BS, even Justin Bieber back then tried to scratch the world of metaverse, and then some of the experiment is quite fantastic actually. Like a lot of people gathering in, and a lot of people like to really watch the concert. And then back then also a lot of brand experimenting in metaverse, like you can see on the screen. It's not a small brand. A lot of these brands, a lot of like even some of it like very conventionally operated like TV Morgan or a bank, but they tried experimenting the use case on the metaverse. All right, so yeah, this is the metaverse part where we try to connect and link with the Web3, and I think this is the most interesting part for me because coming from a blockchain background, I do metaverse, as in I do derivative solution of blockchain actually. All right, so I start with maybe you guys already familiar with this concept. I start with Internet of Evolutions of Internet. When we start the mass of the internet in 1995, 1994, back then we call it the Web 1, right? Because the information back then is only one way. You can only read it. You cannot do with the content in the internet in the Web 1. You could just see it as a big book of yellow pages on the digital back then. So that's why in the Web 1, some people, some company, no, most of the people back then um, see it as a gimmick only. Like it's not important to get on the internet, but just like metaverse back then, just like metaverse in our era, a lot of companies also trying to get into the internet space back then. A lot of like people trying to scratch the surface of the concept of internet. So after the internet was masked in 1994 and 1995, a lot of companies born, and then a lot of companies without fundamental knowledge and fundamental visions, they bankrupt in the net bubble phase, 1998 back then. So in the Web 1 um, phase, we can see the hype and the downfall of the hype is already there, like the metaverse. In the Web 2 is born actually when the platform and the infrastructure of getting in a lot of people in the same space in the digital is there. Web 2 actually drives the new economy, what we call the attention economy right now. Before Web 2, in 2004, maybe starting in, before Web 2, there's no people could imagine that likes or interaction in digital world could be monetized back then. I remember I try YouTube in 2005 in my campus. I share the same campus as Aldi, by the way. So yeah, back then we have the fastest internet. I think in Bandung back then in our campus, and then we tried. I tried YouTube at that time, and when I tried YouTube, I tried to upload it back then, and then I tried to see the videos. I see it like this is the platform. It won't come good. I think I don't see any business. I don't see any business from this because the videos, a lot of people a lot of people only upload the videos of cats back then, or some people playing guitars and stuff. There's no important videos like that. I was thinking back then YouTube would be the 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 collectibles of no, it's collectibles, no, the hub or the library of important videos like news. Back then I was guessing Facebook or YouTube would go that way, but actually it's not. So it revolves around the user generated content. And then when I tried first, I don't see any business angle of it, and I dump it. I mean, I just visit only for a recreational thing. But when they introduce the attention economy in the digital reality, which views, like, and subscribe could be monetized, that changed the whole things. A lot of companies, a lot of people, a lot of business and entities start to see YouTube as a new way of reaching people. So that's for me it's mind blowing because I didn't see it that way back then, but it changed the whole industry then. So people could advertise it there instead of the big billboard or even the website. Back then, website advertisement is still hot, but with the comes of the YouTube platform, with its business models that I didn't guess, uh, it changed the whole thing. A lot of trillions dollars. It becomes their uh, um, main revenue till now, I think. So it's not a technological, technology mogul with complex business models. No, it's only like attention economy model when people already gathering together and there's a crowd in there. You take the monetization out of it by, asking some people or brands or companies that needs that kind of attention. So it's fascinating. So in Web 2, we could interact with the platform. We could read, we could write, right? I remember Friendster back then. And then after that, Facebook. You see, Friendster is not taking off because it didn't have a clear business model, I think. And yeah, because Friendster didn't like Facebook, like making it to the advertisement model. Friendster is just a social media thingy. But Facebook start from the social media thingy. It comes to the attention economy space, and making Facebook as big as today. And in Web 2, we also have the interactive content. Back then, we could see a video back then, and then we could see songs. We could hear a song. We could hear everything in the Web 2. But the drawback from that, we start to depends our lives in digital reality to some big platform like Facebook, like Google, like Amazon. because they are the platform, they are the companies that have the infrastructure and they have the capability to accommodate a lot of people. That's why we start to getting centralized in Web 2. In Web 3, which is predicted now is the early phase of the Web 3, we already have the concept of owning with the blockchain technology, of course. Okay. Hello. Yeah. It's connected. Yeah. All right. So yeah, the Web3 phase introduced the owning capabilities. Before the Web3, when we upload, let's say, we upload our beloved ones' photos to the Google Drive or to the Instagram or to even sending it with emails, actually we don't own that because the one who owned the files, the one who owned the pictures is already them. It's already the social media. It's already
I think is the Mas Aldis is connected ya.
hello.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, we can now
Yeah.
hear you. Okay.
Sorry again, Pak.
That's okay. That's okay.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, about the owning part. Yeah. Okay. So when we upload things on the internet in Web 2, actually it becomes the platform or the the even the web the emails properties. It's not ours anymore because we don't know what they did with. We don't know the this what they did with our files in their server. Actually, if they actually state or decide that you don't own anything of it, they could do that actually. Because have you ever read actually the terms and agreement when you use the platform? They are allowed to do that. So yeah, we don't own anything actually in the digital space in Web 2. But in the Web 3, the owning thing is possible because the one who wrote, the one who write the ownership, the one who hold also the data is not only them, but a lot of nodes in the blockchain space. So that's why the owning part is interesting because some people, tech enthusiasts predicted it could be a new economy in a sense that when a Web 2 starting, attention economy coming in, and then it changed a lot of economy, virtual economy things in the world. So does with this. Some people predict that with the owning property possibilities in the Web3, it could be a new, disruptions of economy. So that's what the Web3 promises, including the metaverse inside of it. Because, in the metaverse, early metaverse in Indonesia also, we heard that you could buy land and then you could own it, right? Back then, and then you could, sell it again, as in you own an actual land, things like that. So the concept is there, but actually the implementation that we need to dig more. So the popular platform in the Web 3 in the metaverse right now, when we talk about the Web 3, and then when we talk about the definition of the metaverse with the element of metaverse with blockchain technologies in it, actually a lot of popular platform right now is already rise out. They use blockchain, but also, but some of them is not well known use blockchain, like Fortnite or maybe the Horizon World. But the Decentraland, the Sandbox, is already use metal coins. side of it. This is a popular platform with any use with back then all of them seems like the same. So the central line is just like a free explorer world, like Metaverse. Horizon World is the same. The sandbox is the same. The difference is only the design or the feels of it. Zepeto is just like the same. Fortnite a bit interesting and Roblox because it's clearly trying to tackle the angle of gaming.
Ya, kasih.
Yeah. Okay. Someone asking? No. All right. Okay.
Not yet, Pak Mas Aldi.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, if anyone have a question, just write it in the chat ya. Okay,
Yeah.
you can continue, Mas Aldi.
Yes. So this is a popular platform that is dubbed as Metaverse, uh, ladies and gentlemen. So Decentraland back then is Metaverse, clearly because they use blockchain and cryptos. Horizon World clearly dubbed as Metaverse because it's a product of Meta. The sandbox is the same. They already they start a concept of Metaverse, and then they also have their own crypto coins. Zepeto is a bit different. It's just like a 3D world exploring of of socials metaverse. Back then, it's I think I don't know Zepeto is using the crypto coin or not, but they already have in-game currency back then. Fortnite and Roblox surely in-game angle, a game angle. And following that, when we talk about the popular platform in a crypto or Web3 space, a lot of token and cryptos and the use case comes out. We have in-game tokens like Robux, right? Some people argue that okay, Robux is still centralized. It's still using the central it's not dependent on the blockchain part. But actually, the intriguing part is who knows, right? Because if Roblox is using blockchain, we didn't know, even though like when we log in, we don't see any wallet and stuff like that. But that kind of technology could be, uh, what is it? You could use the custodial wallet for that. But yeah, a lot of tokens, a lot of cryptocurrency comes out. There's Robux, Minecraft, and a cryptocurrency. There's a Bitcoin, Ethereum. In a stable coin, we have USDT, which is more common right now. And then some of the countries try to do CBDC, the central bank digital currencies. And then, we still use fiat money actually for all of them. So fiat money is still there, basically. Okay, this is the phenomenon that I want to share also in terms of metaverse and what we did in Web3 today, the rise of meme coin. So yeah, in crypto space, when we talk about the solution of metaverse, it's not, you cannot separate that from the hype and ripples from the blockchain area. So meme coin is, the cryptocurrency space thing that a lot of it's already started way back before this, but the hype around it, interestingly, comes out when metaverse hype is going down. So the meme coin is, it's crazy. A lot of people like, getting into it. And if we think back in Indonesia also, we also have like the local influencer coin that works maybe just the same, but in different influence strategies. But the thing is now the rise of meme coin in Web3 is very crazy with or without the use case. So this is the interesting part. So even when they when the meme coin is not having any use case for metaverse or for any other use case, it could still be valuable. It could still be, people crazy going in. For example, the use case of citizen. Yeah, some people, even some people try to, citizen is own metaverse. So the citizen, it has a game in a Telegram space. You don't need to open up or to download any other application, but Telegram now have a built-in capabilities of making an in-app application. So you could build your game or your tools, any other tools, and you could deploy it on Telegram so that your user don't have to download a new application or software or apps in your phone. They could just open the Telegram, open your bot, and then open the apps. As easy as that. So that's why the citizen part here. In 6 months, this year, they already have 35 million global users. They have 7 million daily active users, and 800,000 of them pay for the game, pay to level up, pay to buy things, and the average revenue per paid user is $33. So 33 multiplied by 800,000, in 6 months they have revenue of $26.5 million. And the concept of the citizen is making a sort of metaverse way in a simple games, like on the right side. You could combine the cats, and then it also still believes in the game theory of the blockchain part, which is incentivizing people to get the attractions. And then after that, people coming in start buying real things, and it becomes their real revenue. So capitalism is, one of the phenomenon currently, and some people think that if metaverse, if metaverse back then approach the people with the same proposition, sorry, maybe it could work. Okay. But the thing is, when we think about crypto space or Web3 space and metaverse, the phenomena right now, that's why the capitalism also have that astronomical attractions. It revolves around Degen mentality and astronomical profit still. So degenerates in crypto space refers to traders who gamble without thinking, right? So this is the real phenomena when we think about the Web3 or blockchain space, because the use case is still mainly centered around cryptocurrency, and also it impacts the metaverse. When you build the solutions or metaverse that's really solves your problem, but to attract the native people of Web3 to that solutions, it's not as easy as the conventional approach. You still need to use the incentivizing part, the airdrop part, the game theory part. So that's why when we think about metaverse and Web3, it's a bit challenging because it's metaverse is trying to make its way to our daily lives without any border and stuff, but Web3 is still a very niche of the niche, even though right now it's become more common when people trying to invest in crypto space. But the thing is, when you try to combine those two worlds in one kind of solutions, these phenomena hinders or challenge us. So that's why, with that in mind, when we think that okay, metaverse back then coming out because the Web3 space is also at its peak, and it's impacted each other. When now the Web3 space have their own way of approaching people without the metaverse is dead, really. So I want to revisit. This is maybe our opinion, but I want to revisit our way of thinking when we think about the solutions in the space, be it metaverse, be it blockchain, be it any other technologies. When we think about iterating the solutions, maybe you guys are already familiar with the design thinking, right? We empathize people, and then we define problems, and then we comes out with solutions. Then we bring out the prototype, and we test it, and then we implement, and then we iterate it again if it's not met with the market. So the problem solution is there, but is the product market fit is there or not? So when we think about the design thinking, a lot of like metaverse concept or metaverse platform didn't do it and then just let it die. Just like the internet companies in 1998, when they think internet is like that, but then it's not like that, and then they not iterating, they not pivot, they didn't pivoting, and then they died. But with this, I think maybe metaverse is not that. And we already have one successful story about why I think and why we think metaverse is not that in terms of business and in terms of technology. Sandbox, the platform metaverse, which also have a Web3 approach. They have cryptocurrency tokens, and then they already implement like NFTs, like things. They have an iteration and pivoting their focus to content creations and also in the area of education. So Sandbox is shifting their efforts rather than gathering the metaverse concept that is very wide and very still ambiguous. They shift the focus to content creations, and then they also dive into the educations and art. A lot of entertainment and art. Sorry, a lot of education like institutes, and also in Indonesia, I think I heard the Sandbox is already approaching them to work with them, and this results in, this is the report from June. These reports and the valuation of Sandbox hits 1 billion in June. So basically, the Sandbox proves that metaverse is not that, but with with the right angle, you could still use the angle to generate or to get the technology out there. So Sandbox hits 1 billion valuation in 2024, when the other concept of metaverse is dead, is amazing. Right. So why I think also with the Sandbox use case, what we think also in our company in Indonesia, WAR, what we think why we're still on the space and why we think the metaverse is still, there's a lot of opportunities in it. We are based our belief in this kind of data. Metaverse Indonesia, the indicators, the mobile game segment and the mobile game user is, extremely huge. So this is the base of our beliefs. Apart from this, like the users of Telegram, if we think about the approach from Telegrams, there's 80 million Telegram users in Indonesia. So it's strong. The indicator is strong. And the youngest Indonesian consumer is becoming a force, a workforce right now. It start to become a workforce right now. Even in our company, we already have a guy that from the year he was born, he already know internet. So they didn't know the era before internet. So our workforce right now, we already have some generation, some people in that generation that didn't know there is a world without internet. They born and the internet is already there. So they know how to achieve this, they know how to achieve that. And when we think about it, when we want to introduce some, some concept like metaverse, which is for maybe for a millennial like me back then, it would be a very complex thing to explain. But for them, it's not that um, it's not that complex because from the moment they were born, they already know the internet. Even my son right now, like 3.5 years old, he he didn't know the numbers, he didn't know the alphabets, but he already know how to swipe, how to open a phone. He already know how to search. He already know how to use the phone, even before he able to read or write. So this is the indicators. And Deloitte already state that with the potential economy of Indonesia, the potential of the metaverse concept, be it in whichever approach, it could be huge, like 28 to 52 billions per year, and it's almost 1.3 to 2.4% of GDP. And then when we think about it in the terms of digital currency and then blockchain part, there's a lot of solutions out there that is already matured and adopted by big company. Maybe in your class it's already you already share this, but the thing is like JP Morgan, the Onyx, the GPM coin, they already implement and adopt this solution to their internal ecosystem, which drives also our initiatives that Bank Indonesia have Project Garuda, which is the central bank digital currency, and I hope it could be a good innovation to drive also the solutions of metaverse. And actually, Cambodia is way ahead of us. They already have the Project Bakong, the Cambodia CBDC from 2021. So I think, yeah. In relate to metaverse, why CBDC could be the Hail Grail or the Paris Grail for the concept, because Indonesia's central bank said that if the digital currency, the CBDC or digital currency can be used in metaverse, which in that sense, if we think about it, a lot of non-tech savvy people could also use that, like they use OVO or GoPay then, right? But this could drive the metaverse furthermore. So yeah, from our side, that is the dynamics of metaverse from the start and from the 2 years. 2 years when we think we know what we're doing, but we still have to iterating it and then trying to search for some angles. So now we are thinking, at least this is from our perspective. So now we think that the metaverse for future development would rise and revolves around this kind of concept. So the rise of no code or low code tools could enable people to onboard to metaverse easily. I refer to the sandbox also. So the sandbox itself pivoting their way and their focus to content creations, and then they built tools for creating the games and creating digital contents and assets also in Web3, and you tokenize that instantly in there also. And it hits a lot of business models. And then with us also, even before the sandbox pivoting, in 2022, we already start building our own Nusa Studio. We call it Nusa Studio. We have our own tools, no code or low code tools. It's called Nusa Studio. So before I'm bragging about this, before the sandbox shifted their focus, we already have our focus there. So yeah, on the left side, here is our solution of Nusa Studio. So we build our solutions based on this concept, no code or low code tools. We built the Nusa Studio so you could have a game or some kind of gamification without coding, but to just drag and drop and put the the comment in there and put the asset in there, and then you could just deploy and launch it in our platform. So we think that in the future also, Metaverse could be a new platform for new generations to express their creations, just like YouTube back then with YouTube. Back then, people who knows how to record and make great videos uploaded to YouTube. A lot of people getting into YouTube, and it attracts a lot of crowd and attention. With this, we believe the same. We believe it could be done like that. So a lot of people could create, a new generation could create, could express, their imaginations in this space with low effort, just like uploading the video to YouTube's. And then a lot of people will gather, and then it will create some commotion and business models then. So yeah, this is what we think is very important part. And then following that, it will focus on interactivity and user-generated content, just like Web2 did actually. Interactivity means that mm, we learn from the history from Web1 to Web2. There's a lot of different features and different interactivity. In Web1, we cannot comment, we cannot like things, we just read. And with Web2, you could read and you could write. Also, you could comment, you could likes, and that's why the attention economy could be monetized because there's metrics in it. And in Web3, we believe that the next level of interactivity could change the economy also in the virtual space, and still on the user-generated content. And of course, we don't forget the crux of our era right now is still on the AI, right? And with the metaverse, with the blockchain part, also AI could be one of the tools, one of the weapon that we could integrate on the creations on the digital space that the users create. We already implement the AI to our Angela first. So we collaborating with Santa Angela in Bandung to build the Angela first, and then we already integrate the AI into one of the worlds, and then the AI could help the students to learn. So yeah, so future development, I think we could see more of the integration of AI to the metaverse space, and then the evolving economy and ownership. This will strongly correlated in a way that blockchain and crypto space right now doing. So when we think the metaverse, and then when we think that the one that very native to metaverse concept is the Web3 people or the cryptocurrency people, when we want to, marrying those two concepts, the evolving economy and ownership could be the key for the dynamics. When we think about the ownership, when we think about the incentivizing people, it could be done around the concept of the Web3 or crypto space. So this could be a new way, and our future development has also crafted this thing, not only the technological level, but how to move and drive people to onboard to the solutions, maybe with the incentivizing approach, like crypto did or Web3 did. And we can see a lot of, and this is what we believe also, because we are a small company from Indonesia, but we think when we see the big money still believe in this solution, even though with different angle, we still see the opportunity. So Visa still believe in the space by having a program of digital creators, and I think currently they have, even this year they launch a Web3 loyalty engagement solutions that, in one of the statement they could, they're referring to, it could be used later on the metaverse. So they still believe on the futures of metaverse. And then there's a Gnosis card, where you take the conventional approach of Visa cards and then make it your own by implementing the blockchain technology and stuff. And now what? So I wanna start, because this is the class of not very technical level, ya Pak Andri, ya. This is the class, the business and management, right? So for the future and how you grasp into the concept of metaverse, I want us to revisit these two theories. Garners have hype cycles theories. He said, like, every technology in the world will have this kind of hype cycle. When the innovation triggered, it will spark a lot of hype from many other people, and then it will make the mass perception, the mass expectation peak at that point. But if sadly the technology is still not there, so that's why the peak of inflated expectation will not meet to the reality of the technology. So the expectation eventually will comes down, and then people, just like metaverse right now, people don't believe the technology. People, the hype is not there anymore. But then when the builder is still working on it, we will get to the point where the technology is already used by us, even without the the hype or the event, as in when the first phase, the slope of enlightenment, we call it. So when we think about this part, the Gartner hype cycle, it makes sense because internet back then is just like the same. When when internet is coming out to the space of the world, come to the mass, it's just the same. I will show you the proof of it. It go through the same cycle. And then the other theories is Amara's laws. Amara's law state that eventually, if there's an innovation of technology, sometimes in a short term, we overestimate them. So that's why when we combine these two theories, it makes sense, because in a short term, you overestimate them, and then so that in a sense you will have overly excited people coming into the space, and then that's when the expectation is very high, the hype is very high. But then again, when we think about it, after that the hype is down, and feel going nowhere, and then we underestimate them. So now, in terms of metaverse, we are on the phase where the short overestimate phase is already over. We are still in the underestimate phase, but eventually we will have the equilibrium or the meeting point. I will show you the video before we end this. This is the video from 1995. These two videos, and I will show you why I want to show you this, because maybe we could reflect this as in our era. What kind of technology like internet that overestimated like this?
Millions of Americans own a personal computer. If you're one of them, you can now glimpse the future with nothing more than a modem, a phone line, and a few dollars a month.
Pak Henry knows better ya, Pak.
Oh, that's that little mark with the A and then the ring around it.
At.
See, that's what I said. Katie said she thought it was a bot.
Mereka lagi ngomongin
But I'd never heard it said.
huruf A di belakang email.
But never heard it said. And then it sounded stupid when I said it. Violence at
National
NBC.
TV.
Just what is this main artery of the information superhighway?
Every business, no matter how large, and no matter how small, will be on the internet in the year.
Nah, ini saya mencermati sorry in English. So I was very intrigued by Eric Schmidt, by his statement right here, because he said at that time, he said like every business, every ecosystem, everything will be on the internet. He said like that, and then everyone just think like, if back then like a fisherman industry or agriculture industry, they said like, why on earth I want to be in the internet, because back then the internet is just like that, like before, like only static page. But then time tells that Eric Schmidt statement becomes very true. Even now, even the smallest industry is on the internet.
It's the primary way that people will look up information. It will replace the yellow pages as we know it today.
Are a lot of people just getting on to the internet because they feel that they have to get onto the playing field, so to speak?
Well, it's very hip to be on the internet right now.
There it is. Violence at NBC,
At,
I mean,
you can see the at is not.
Allison should know.
What is internet?
It's still like a circle with
Internet
A.
is that massive computer network, the one that's becoming really big now.
What do you mean? That's big. How does one? What do you write to it like mail?
No, a lot of people use it and communicate. I guess they can communicate with NBC writers and producers. Allison, can you explain what internet is?
No, she can't say anything in 10 seconds or less.
Oh. I'm afraid that if I subscribed to something like internet, you would really be hooked. I would get hooked, and I would never, spend time with my family. Does it bother you at all that these are all people that you don't really know? I mean, that everybody's having having these conversations.
Still figuring out what internet is.
Scraping together or whatever.
What internet is.
With people that, I don't know.
There's a lot of afraid. There's a great fear.
Well, as I mentioned, I have no desire to be a part of the internet because I feel like I'm so inundated with information all the time that I don't want more. Don't you ever feel like it's just constant bombardment?
I don't know. I guess the thing I resent most is I would resent at least when you're home, if the phone rings, you have the option of not answering it. On the internet, people can send you messages all the time people you don't even want to hear from.
All right. So from that video, we could see, the fear is there, the doubt is there, the misconception of the internet, because we know the internet 20 years, 30 years from there, right? When we revisit that video, we know that, you're wrong. Internet is not like that. We could say that. But back then, in that time, not many people could see the futures. Not many people could vision the futures from the technology, which is called internet. So this is the thing that I want to show you. The other part is Bill Gates. I think in one of the talk show. This is very interesting also.
What about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there. The latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell?
He said,
You know what I mean? It's just...
There's a difference. You can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
All right. Do tape recorders ring a bell?
yeah. So back then, it's Bill Gates, guys. It's not whoever. It's Bill Gates. Bill Gates tried to explain the internet on a surface level like that. You know, you could listen to things like that. You can search the internet like whatsoever. But then again, the mass perception of the internet, like the presenters, he said like, why should use internet? We already have radios, and why should I use internet? Because we already have tape recorders, we already have TVs. Why we need internet back then? That's why when we think now, we could say that, oh, you are wrong. You're totally wrong. If you're not into internet, you're get behind. And that's what exactly the phenomenon that I mentioned earlier in the hype cycle and stuff. So that I think also happened in the metaverse space, and not only in metaverse, maybe in the blockchain space also. So the thing is, for the future
What about this
development,
internet thing? Do you know anything?
the thing that very important for us to do is keep building. And I this is not typo, because build in the crypto space mean built. So crypto spaces have a lot of language and slangs. So yeah, for future development, and the building part is not only on the technical levels, ladies and gentlemen, because the building part is also the responsibility of the business part. Because if you build a technology that is not fit the problem of your market, you won't get the sustainability of it. You won't get anything out of it, even the internet. So that's why keep build here is not only for the technical peoples or for us, the developers, but also for the business part. Keep chasing the way, keep chasing the angle of how the technology could solve any problem and how it brings values. So I think that's all for me, but Andri, I hope it brings some insight.
Okay, thank you, Mas Aldi. I think give applause to Mas Aldi virtually. I think is really wonderful. We are very honored. I don't think many people can cover such extensive discussion in metaverse. You mentioned the history. You mentioned the trend, a business model, and also what next. I think this is a very good thing. I meet very little people that can extensively talking about metaverse, especially right now when metaverse is not in the hype anymore, and
yeah.
the business. Yeah, so this is very much. I think our student. This is a business student. I think become lessons when market is not the hype doesn't mean the business is end. Yeah. So I think I learned a lot of things. I write some the last video is really, I was there and I know what it's like. Explain people what is internet and exactly like now what is metaverse. Exactly when I try to explain people about blockchain and space digital economy, and you mentioned about Web3. Web3 is very difficult to digest because ownership. I think when I explain to my student, there's no real comparison or real use case that we can use it extensively daily. Yeah. So very nice. So I before we still have time. I think many student maybe or maybe some lecturers here too. I saw there is Pak Heri. Okay. Pak Heri, maybe you have a question. First question, Pak Heri. Okay. You can you open the mic, Pak Heri?
Yes, Pak.
Okay.
Good morning.
Morning. Okay. Your question, Pak Heri.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Aldi, for the insightful presentation. Yeah, we know that as Prof. Andri said that the hype is likely not there anymore, but the business is still prospective. It's mentioned in your slide that that it said that the market of metaverse in Indonesia is huge, yeah, especially with the Gen Z and also maybe Alpha, yeah, in the next future. But seem to me that as always, also in business, Indonesian market is very attractive as a market, as an object of the technology, not the subject or actor of the technology. Maybe you can elaborate more how to make or to push our generation become have a more pivotal role in this technology. That's my question, Mas Aldi. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Pak Heri. The pleasure is mine to share in this class. To the point of where we could improve our next generation to be the subject or to be the actors rather than the objects. Maybe the answer, the right answer, the correct answer would be a multidimensional approach. But I think I'll try to answer my best in my position, in my point of angle, and in our role as a technological company in Indonesia. The thing is, the effort that we bring out to the space start and will always start with education for us, Pak. So I think in our company, we even our iteration, next iteration of our solution is revolves around the education area. So we think that education is very important, and how we as a company, how we as a private and business try to shape the market and also try to shape the next generations is really strongly correlate with how we collaborate with the with the education's area, especially like this. That's why when Telkom University invites us or any other institution invites us, when it comes to educations, even though I'm in camping area, I will make it. I will make it because that's our core value of making the next market, the next future for us, rather than object. I want the next generation could be the subject, and the key and the gateway for that is to make them realize that they are the object right now if they not knowing anything and they don't have any visions. So we want to share that we are here. We as a technological company is here, and I believe there's a lot of company also that are concerned about the concept of technology, of metaverse, of the next big thing. And if the students or the education is not leveraged by us, so it's we will still be in a object area, not a subject. So that's in my part, in my point of view, apart from any other dimensional and metrics level, which is like regulations maybe, and the policies maybe. But what we can do, what us as a technology information company in Indonesia do is collaborate with education institutions more, and that's why from 2 years ago we always have a roadshow, Pak. Jadi, so we hop into many schools and university, not to sell our solution as per se, but we try to make the same understanding that the technology is here, and then after that you should start and you should get the spirit of exploring more about the technology, because the opportunity is there. But when we because I refer to my experience, but back then 2005 I tried the YouTube, and I didn't even think about being influencer. If in 2005 I know the potential, I know the visions, if I have the same spirit as I am right now, maybe I won't be here. maybe
Yes.
I'll be there with Raffi Ahmad, maybe like that. So the thing is that, so in terms of opportunity, if there's a technology, and then there's that's the thing that we want to share, not only like selling per se our solutions. So that's my answer, Pak Heri, in terms of in our perspective and capabilities.
Yeah. Thank you, Mas Aldi.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyone else have question? Yes. Okay. Theodore, you can open your mic. Hello, Theo, you there? Oh, I think the connection is not really good. Maybe we
I can read it. I can read
you
it.
can
Yeah.
read. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, answering to that, how did the use case of virtual property in the metaverse? Why do they sell an expensive price in their market? All right. So if we think about the case of ownership, this is the case that revolves around the ownership of things back then, the hype of ownership things, and the metaverse is one of the tools that they use to exercise the use case. So why do they sell an expensive price in their market? So they back then, many people, many business try to push the concept of scarcity. So when they sell something in the digital world before the Web3, you could sell cheap because you could just as easy as copy and paste it. But when the ownership concept coming in, they are betting on the concept of scarcity, which means like if the supply is less than the demands, they try to make a huge profit from that. So why they sell it expensive price? Back then they bet on that concept, the scarcity part. So back then, with the concept of ownership, right, in digital space, for the first time in our digital life, we could implement the scarcity concept on digital items for the first time. Because before that, if you own the file, or if you own some digital files, and you set it astronomical level of price, people won't buy it because you could copy and paste it, right? But with the ownership concept introduced by blockchain technology, the concept of scarcity would be there. Although, the use case is not sustainable, right? Because people then realize that if you own something on this chain, it doesn't mean that you own something on the other chain. So it's still like the use case that's evolving. But the use case back then, the selling lands is it's around that concept, Theodore. maybe Pak Andri
Okay,
wanna add something.
very good answer. I think Mas Aldi. I think one of probability because maybe they're riding the hype because
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
the
it's
hype
same.
and
Yeah,
then the price is high. Yeah, okay, okay,
yeah.
one. Okay, this is next question. Can you open the mic, Zaria?
Okay, sir. So I want to ask about how can business use the metaverse to create deeper connection with customer, in this case, Gen Z and Gen Alpha market, and what competitive advantage of metaverse that can keep that users engaged in a virtual environment?
Right. This is a
That's
very
all my
interesting.
question.
Yeah, this is very interesting part because in layman terms, I always approach this with layman terms of a website. I say like this: Gen Z or sorry, millennial generations is okay with the website that is simple and there is no animation and if the website is not that complex. We are okay with that. We don't judge the business by that, right? Because we know how bad back then, how bad the business, the website back then. So my generation, maybe if you build the business and then you build a simple website to reach them, if your target market is my generation, they wouldn't mind because we know, okay, we through a lot, we know the worst. But then when we see a normal website, we think, it's okay. Then. But if your target market is the next generation or the younger generation, if your website is simple, is conventional, maybe they won't touch your business. Maybe you won't have any connection with them because they don't know the world without internet. So that is my thesis. If if some brand or business want to make a deeper connection with a new or younger audience, Metaverse could be one tool to reach them, among other tools. Why the Metaverse could bring that? Because the interactivity is there, the immersiveness is there, the other possibilities is there, which you cannot enable it on a simple website, right? So think about Metaverse is just like another website to reach your younger audience. That's my approach because if we think about it, Generation Z or Generation Alpha, if you see, let's say, a website with only a button and then with only a text, you won't think that business is legit, right? But for us, for millennials, a simple website is enough. That's the thing. So I think if you want to use the metaverse, maybe you could use it as a tools, just like a tools of website to reach a younger audience. If you want to sell things there, it's on another phase of it. But to reach them, that's first phase. That's the first phase. And then the competitive advantage of metaverse, I said that you can enable things that you cannot enable on a simple website. That's it.
Okay, I think it's quite extensive the answer from Mas Aldi. Next question, I think this is a cautious question, maybe skeptical. Please,
Yeah.
Amelia, you can open the mic to ask the question.
All right. Hello, sir. So my question is actually regarding the virtual concert in Metaverse. So during the pandemic, the Metaverse was very popular with celebrities like Lil Nas, Ariana, and Travis Scott. They hosted virtual concerts that even had like millions of viewers. But I believe the popularity of those concerts were driven by the pandemic, which was a barrier for us. And given now that we're returning back to in-person interaction, and interactivity is very important for us, I'd like to know your opinion. How do you see the future of virtual concerts in Metaverse? Thank you.
Yep. Okay. I will refer to the design thinking framework with this, because I think when we see some solutions, when we see some platform tools like Metaverse or even blockchain or even Facebook or even any other tools, any other technologies, we will reverse it as a solution to some kind of problem, right? When we think that the virtual concert on the pandemic time back then works as a solution for people that cannot go to an actual concert, it becomes well. But I think that kind of approach could not be forever like that, because you see the problem. Sometimes problem is not persistence. Problem is the things that wouldn't be persistent. So I think the future of virtual concert, they have in Metaverse, to be precise, they have to iterate and they have to search for the angle, as in how they could be or solution for some kind of other problems. Like back then, they tried to solve the problem of people cannot go in actual concert. Now, when the problem of pandemic is over, and then people could see the real concert, they should iterate the solution to search for another angle of problem that they could solve. In that terms, need improvement of the features. Maybe it's not like the virtual concert as we see back then when the pandemic comes. Maybe the virtual concert or the hybrid concert would be the opportunity for the next futures. I think that is the way of thinking that we could exercise over and over again if we see some kind of solution. Just like if the solution is we think that is obsolete, we could revisit the idea of the problem solutions fit or product market fit, and then after that we could iterate it again and again and again. So the future of virtual concert, I see maybe we need to revisit the what kind of problem that you actually solve with the new virtual concert in Metaverse. As of now, I couldn't think any of it yet. Yeah, because virtual concert in our company is not one of the use cases that we chase actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I agree. We need to detail more, investigate more about virtual concert. I think not the best case maybe for Metaverse, but
yeah.
something else. Yeah. Okay. Is anyone else have a question? Maybe we still have time until 10 o'clock. Okay. Anyone? I see. Waiting for the next question. I think. What are the current project of Nusameta right now?
All right. So yeah,
maybe you can tell us.
So yeah, we are also the. The thing is the matter that I put on the pitch deck is actually our experience also. Like 2 years back is not easy for us either. We acknowledge that we piggyback the hype, we piggyback the issue. We're riding the waves also for the Metaverse. But when it comes to the level of understanding the technology, me personally in WR is very intrigued with the concept of the new virtual economies and new way of a business model that we could achieve with Metaverse and blockchain. So that's why when we think the Metaverse concept is not that very mature and not that very clear, we try to get the insight also from the Metaverse Alliance, Pak Andri. So we are there with NVIDIA, we are there with many companies, but still, there's no clear insight that we get. So we iterate it by ourselves. So that's why right now we more likely follow the steps of the sandbox to educations. So we make some, we have an ecosystem of application. We have Nusa Studio, which means you can build your own games or 3D worlds without codings. And then it revolves around the solutions of educations. So it's mainly used for the teachers or for the education enthusiasts to make some educational world or educational gamifications or educational experience. And then they could present that to their young audience, maybe for SD, for TK, maybe. For the things that we maybe for some reason we only teach them by only words, like maybe like this. If you want to teach the kindergarten level that throwing garbage anywhere could result in flood, right? We could only talk to them and show them the images or the videos, right? But seeing is not the same as experiencing. I refers to the Khan Academy back then. I refers to any other institutional papers. For that kind of age, when you experience things, it will carve in their memories. So we bet on that thesis. So for the things like if you want to change younger generation to not throwing garbage anywhere, so we are the solutions for that. And we are the solutions to get to their memories of the things that you want them to remember and to understand more. That's the angle that we try to reach right now, Pak Andri, because the metaverse itself, still fluid and still going anywhere. But I think this is the metaverse approach that we are chasing right now.
Yeah, thank you, Mas Aldi. I think it is yourself that find the uniqueness of Indonesian market, right? So
yeah, exactly.
Good luck for the endeavor for finding the right track. Yeah. Okay. Okay. I think the time is up. Yeah. I don't want to bother Mas Aldi because he is in the right of the camping time. So this is
no, it's okay. No, it's okay.
a good time to spend the time with the family.
Yeah.
I think
this is my tent.
thank you very much. And I want to thank you for your vision to educate the young generation. And I think your Starlink is very good. The connection is very good.
Thank you.
Yeah, enjoy your camping. See you around. Maybe next time you can come to our campus on behalf of the Telkom University and the student and the lecturer. We are very grateful for your experience sharing this morning. Thank you very much. Okay.
Thank you, Pak Andri. Thank you, everyone. My pleasures.
Okay,
Thank you, Mas.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, guys.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Let's leave
Thank
the
you, sir.
room. Okay, bye-bye.
Thank you, Pak.
Okay. Okay.